Exercise with me. Hey, it's Jonno White from Clarity, and it's that time of the week again. We're going to do some exercise together. Not the gym, not a run, something much more fulfilling. I'm going to take you through a quick exercise for leaders, entrepreneurs out there, and it's not going to cost you millions of dollars. It's completely free. Okay. One of the biggest things that's been coming up recently for me is this idea of an MVP. Let me explain. And I want you to answer this question for me. What's the big initiative you're pushing into as a leader or an entrepreneur? It's something you're starting. It's the big project that you're managing. It's the thing on the horizon that's still a while away, but it's keeping you up at night a little bit. What is it? I want you to think about it. Now, I want you to think about what success looks like for that. Maybe it's hiring a key person. Maybe it's that new product you're launching as an entrepreneur. Maybe it's stepping into a new type of leadership in the school. Whatever it is, I want you to think about success. What would it look like for you to just be an absolute winner in the next 6 months, 12 months? Maybe it's only 1 month away. Imagine it, okay? Can you picture it? You, incredibly successful, smashing that out of the park. Now, here's the challenge. We've done this exercise, and naturally, you're leading towards that result that you imagined. That's how you're building. That's what you're putting things together around. But MVP, M for Mary, MVP is minimum viable product. It comes out of Silicon Valley, where they're launching software all the time, and they realize when they try to get things perfect, they end up taking way too long and not coming to market soon enough. And what a minimum viable product is, it says, okay, now take that thing that you just imagined, and instead of imagining it super successful in a year or like fantastically successful, change your thinking and say, what would be the minimum viable product for that new hire you need to do, for that new product you're launching, for that new initiative, for that new type of leadership you're stepping into leading a team? What would it look like for it to be viable? So we're saying something that, yes, it has to be successful, but often we imagine 10 different elements to it. And when we go, what's the minimum viable product? Only 4 of them are necessary. And I remember doing this with learning this the hard way as a perfectionist, that with Clarity, I would really struggle with getting things out and just getting things to market for Clarity, because I would just labor over them. And I had to learn this the hard way and realize I would labor over something. I'd labor over a blog. For me, it was just, this success for me was this blog that, hundreds of thousands of people were reading and learning from and going, Jonno, this was so helpful. So I'd pour all of my thinking and all of my, into this blog. And I remember sitting down and slaving away over it and not quite right and coming back to it. And then it was launch day, and I'd press launch on my newest blog, and no one would read it. And it was so depressing. And you do that enough times and you question, what am I doing? And I remember doing that and going, there's got to be a different way. And that's when this whole idea of minimum viable product, or another saying I love is done is better than perfect. That's when I realized, you know what? I need to embrace done is better than perfect. And I started just going, what's the minimum viable product for me to launch this next blog, to launch my next video like I'm doing now, to, instead of being in a studio, I'm in a car. I'm about to start some coaching in Maryborough. But I know that if I can jump on and do a video here, that I can still help you even though I'm sitting in a car in Maryborough rather than in a studio and everything's really schmick. And so for me, when I do a video like this is my minimum viable product. So for you, what does that look like? Because once I did this, I started pumping things out, and this is the irony. You pump things out way faster. 1 in 10 works. 9 out of 10 you haven't wasted all that time on. And so this is why we need to launch our products, launch our projects, even do processes like hiring, focused on the minimum viable product. How do we just smash out the MVP so that we can learn, test, assess, and change it up and improve? And ultimately, over time, you will get to that thing that you really want to see, that idea of success, but it's probably going to take a number of MVPs and tweaks before you get there. I hope that's been helpful. I hope that's been more fun than going for a run. I'll catch you next time. Thanks for hanging out.